Test, test, test. Looks like a lot of people took off, probably. There's nobody in here. It's raining outside really bad. So I don't know. People are finding their way back in here. I know, hey, all that talk about 5G and how it's so incredible, and all it takes is one storm in California. And now I think my phone is actually, oh no, it's still on 5G. But with all those boxes humming out there, and with my phone on 5G, one little rainstorm, and that's all it takes for your phone to and I don't know, man. Sometimes I think this world is wacky. I wonder how much of any of this is true, you know. I wonder if it's all just a story, man. Like, do we have free will, and we're out there and we think that we are like, do we think we're doing something, like going to jobs and doing something important, but we're really just not doing anything all day, and nothing is the way it seems, and no business is run the way we think, and everything's a scam, right? Like, could it be that, and that the story of reality is only in our heads, and this thing that we share out there, the shared reality, right? The common areas, right? Is that is that it? You know, is that all it is? And then everything else is in our heads? Because if that's the case, I wonder how much any of it is real, especially since like 90 something percent of everything exists on, online or TV or something. It's spooky, when you really think about it. It becomes spooky when you think about it. And we have like a year where we're watching all these truther videos about 5G and how it's gonna fry our brain, and how they're gonna have all these driverless cars and all this stuff. And I guess there is driverless cars, but I mean, what happens when it rains? Like, does it is it hard to get online? Does it drop down to 4G? Like, is any of that real? Is this Neuralink? They say they're gonna put a chip in your brain. Is that real? Because they were talking about quantum computers, right, for a long time, probably like, I don't know, a decade ago, and talking about how they had to like keep them in a freezer pretty much, because of how hot the chip gets, because everything's in superposition, and but it's not like we all have one of those. Yeah, thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. I know, I know. I believe Neuralink is real too, but like, it's weird how, like, well, like, it's just weird how it's none of it is like we think it's gonna be, even though we kind of have the jump on it. And I think it's set up that way so that we tell everyone, oh no, this is the way it's gonna be, this, and this. We know it. And then when it comes out, if it comes out, probably late or whatever, then we look like fools, because it doesn't come out exactly how we said or think it will be, you know? And it's like, then I started thinking about like, well, think about all the jobs that I've had, right? Like all the jobs I've had where, right, it's people stuttering, right? No, but like, uh, I know, man. Can you imagine? Hold on, I got to turn on my brain. Or if it's raining, hold on, I gotta log on. Hold on, guys, I gotta log on with my head, man. I am just no good until I log on. It's just like having a cup of coffee. Like I am just no good for anyone until I log my head on in the morning. That's so funny. Yeah, but it's like every job, right, that I've ever had, right? I'm starting to think, right? Like I work for some good companies, some good businesses, right? And I'm like, man, I mean, at some level, it's a scam, right? It's a scam. I mean, there's some places that offered like a good service, but even that service was kind of sold in a scam way, you know? And and I use the word scam lightly because obviously that's, I guess, shrewd business in the world, right? Like, there's big real estate moguls who spread rumors of like, some criminal on the loose in some area, and everyone gets scared, and they save $14 million on a real estate deal, and they think that that's some kind of a heady play, when in reality it's horrific to do something like that, right? And that kind of thing gets rewarded as being um savvy, whatever, right? It's crazy. That's fine, Sheila. I know it's late out there. Sorry I was a few minutes late. Thank you guys for being patient with me. It's like storms out here. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or the fact that I'm in an apartment complex and we kind of all share what's out, because I just have a data. I'm not on. I don't have internet, so I don't know how that all works. But I was having a little bit of trouble, not that much, but it kept doing the circle thing or whatever, the buffering or whatever. But anyway, it's all good now, so it looks that way. Knock on wood, right? All right. First of all, I'd like to say hi to everybody. What's up, Michigander, Darlene? How are you doing? Let's see some more videos. Okay, yes, of course. Um, I will watch. I will watch. Yes, yes. Deb, how are you doing? Rob, what's going on? Yes. Hey, Rob. Even if I sleep through it, right, every day. If I sleep through it, when I wake up, I'm gonna just go on. I'm not gonna miss any shows. So it could be, I doubt it'll be more than an hour or two because I don't sleep more than an hour or two at a time. So, not that that's a good thing. Not that I'm still trying to be on time, of course. But if I fall asleep, that's the worst possible scenario. What's up, y'all's Will Soaring? What's up, Clutch? How you doing, buddy? Rob again. All right. Getting ahead of these now. What's up, Faith? And Dutch Sailor, how you doing, my friend? Um, Let me see who else is here. There's Sheila. All right. It was a good. Okay. Nice. So I asked that question to Rob, and I didn't get an answer. And okay, it was going into dark winter. Okay, power. Blah 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 blah. So how did that thing with the thing? Yeah, Rob, that was the sorry, the lead on the job, buddy. I don't think they're going to cut the power, Rob. I think that if they were to, because I did think about that too, right? If they took us off the internet, right? We would be lost, right? You know, that kind of thing. But I think they want us online, and if it did get cut, right? The signal is there. You can't take that away. There would be so many. It would just be an influx of pirated, you know, people hacking their way on, having private servers and all that. Like it would be like the Wild West of internet. They don't want that. They want control over all of it. Interview is tomorrow. Yes. Well, I think that's exciting, Rob. I think that's exciting, and I hope that that all goes well. I think with the way with you know, housing prices skyrocketing because obviously they got to print money and they can only print it out into debt or else it'll change the value of the dollar. So real estate prices will go up, so lumber prices will go up, and so hopefully, you know, because it's a lumber place, you know, that will be, hopefully they're hiring, you know, in a big way, a big opportunity, you know, if it's the same place you were telling me about. I think that you know, because I was trying to put that together, I was like, yeah, you know, that does sound like a business that will be rolling because they can't just print money and put it out into circulation because that'll just bring down the value of everything. So their whole thing is they're going to want to loan out as much money as possible, but they don't want to give small business loans, which would help us, right? Because it would create more jobs because it's a higher risk of getting paid back, and then that inflation would go up faster. But if they were able to artificially inflate the price of the homes, right? Then if you didn't pay off your loan, they can take the house and then they can make their money back. And so it's a nice hedge for them. It doesn't help us because they just keep printing money, right? And we don't get any of it, but they hedge their money pretty good and we just share what else is out there. And so while it looks good on paper, you know, the market and everything, but those lumber prices are going to go sky high. I mean, wood will probably be worth as much as gold. I mean, at some point, you know. I mean, that's just me thinking. I mean, I'm not like, you know, I'm not a financial wizard or whatever. I'm just thinking of how, because I always view the way the American economy is, right, is like we're at the end of Monopoly, that game of Monopoly, where, you know, they have us crushed, right? And they want to keep us in the game so we could keep playing. They don't want to end the game, so they keep finding ways to give us money to keep us in the game so we can go around the board one more time, you know? And so, you know, you're going to get these stimuluses, you're going to get loans, you're going to get, oh no, see what you did for the gas. Look at that number. And, well, in California, I remember one year it was like over $5 a gallon. I couldn't believe it. It was like I seen someone with $100, man, over $100 for 20 gallons. And I remember when I was a kid, right? Um, I had a 1979 Honda Civic, and I don't know how big the gas tank was, but it cost me $11 or something like that to fill it. Like for $11, I filled the whole car, and so that's it's pretty crazy, you know, from then to now. I mean, the gas prices are gonna be so high at some point that it's gonna be like cell phones. They'll just give the car away, and you buy the gas service or something. Like you just you just buy like the membership to Chevron or whatever, and you have to get all your gas there. and because everyone's gonna want alternative vehicles, you know, and there are still gonna be people making money with. They're gonna keep pumping the ground until it dries up, and it looks like it's just gonna keep pumping. Because they said they were gonna run out of gas like in the mid '90s, you know, and they're still pumping these same wells out in the Middle East, and you know, free car with every fill. Well, I don't know with every fill up, but like they'll like you know like because there's only going to be one class of people, right? It's gonna it's gonna be the poor and then the rich. You know, so it's gonna be like um w- movie where you got to go fight to the death. I forget what that. I forget what it's called. Somebody help me with that. It's on the tip of my tongue. Where everyone's poor, they live in the sectors or whatever, and then they all got to fight in this one thing where if they win, they get to be part of like the group that could eat or whatever. The top level people, I forget, but yeah, it'll be like that. So they'll make like these cheap like Kias or something like that, or Geo Metros or whatever, and they'll just give it away. Yeah, it's kind of like Mad Max, but it's a newer one. Um, she had like like she shot bow and arrow, and she was like a warrior, and you get picked out of a Hunger Games. That's right, that's right, Hunger Games. I was gonna get there too because I was like, how did they get their name in the bucket? It's because if you as soon as you eat, you got to put your name in the bucket. Isn't that horrible? You know, you go to get, you're like, man, I want a donut, man. Oh, I got to put my name in that bowl. Maybe I better not have that donut. Probably would do me some good to think that way, you know? Like, maybe I wouldn't. Well, I'm actually kind of happy I'm a little bit fat now because I was so skinny for a while because I couldn't eat barely. And I know it. Yeah, yeah, reindeer games. I thought, oh no, Hunger Games. I still got it wrong. And so, yeah, I mean, I hope that job. Oh yeah, if they do that, Rob, with the jab, no way, man. A jab for a donut. I wouldn't do it for $1 million. I would almost prefer to die. You know, like I would almost prefer to die than to even lose my job. You know, because then I know at least heaven starts. You know, I mean, the only thing that would be pressure to do that is if I'm thinking about like just my children. You know, like that's the only thing. Like there's no part about me of suffering that would ever make me. It's an easy choice. Chop off my head, but you know, nothing's gonna make me do it. You know, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the mark or whatever. I don't know. I hope not. My mom took it, and that's heartbreaking, right? And so I think that oh man, Rob, you know what? But but you're one of the few people that is like standing behind that, you know, like I'm sure if a lot of people were put to that test, right? Um, I don't think that they would do it. I think our faith in Jesus, right? And how much we know that he, that we have that ahead of us, right? I think that's the only thing that'll keep us doing it, to walk the walk, and I think very few people put in that position would do that, Rob, and that says a lot about your character, says a lot about because here's the thing, right? If everyone started taking jabs, right, just to get it over with or just to get their job or whatever, then that means every future generation has to do it too. And we just screwed them, And I even I explained this to Cindy or maybe to everyone else about like I don't care if they said you have to wear black pants or else you can't work you know and participate in society. You got to wear the black pants all the time. Well, I'm not going to wear the black pants because if I put on the black pants, that means my kids got to wear them, my grandkids, all of them, because it's just like money, right? Somebody gave away all the gold, right? And then all we have left is paper, right? I didn't make that deal, right? Somebody a long time ago made that deal. Oh, let's give the gold up and we'll just use the paper, you know? And now we got to live with it, man, because they're like, oh yeah, no, that sounds cool. That sounds like, oh, let's just do it, get it over with. We got heroes like Rob over here, a real live hero, you know, and I think that that's going to end up proving well because I think we're going to see God's power when he gets a better opportunity. I really think so. And so you're in my prayers for sure because, that's a good testimony, if everything worked out great, then that's something we can promote and tell people. Because here's the thing, right? I mean, um there's no winning if you do it, right? You do it and then it's like, okay, now you got to get the next shot in 6 months, then the next one, then the next one. And we don't know what that's doing to, like, could be messing with our empathy. It could be messing with our health. It could be messing, I don't know, all the way up into the crazy stuff, right? Nano crap and all this other stuff. Who knows, man? Who knows what it is, right? Hey, I'm not even going to eat nothing if I don't know what's in it. And I don't think that's unreasonable, I don't think that's unreasonable. Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? This is what has kept me strong. Well, you know what, Rob? That's outstanding. That's outstanding, Because I used to like think about like how could somebody sell their soul and like, I think about people like Will Smith or Tom Cruise or like, oh man, how did they for all those hundreds of millions, like how could you give up your soul for 100 million? But now, I mean, with the way people are, I mean, it would not surprise me if someone sold their soul for like, $1,000, 10 grand or something crazy like that. I mean, I never thought that could be a reality. Like if you came up to me and said, I'll give you $1 billion, you just give me your soul forever. No way, man. No way. Not we have eternity coming, like in perfect contentment out of this uh weird place, man. You know? Welcome, history. If you're new, welcome. How did you find us? I'm always interested because I do go out and try to meet new people all the time and I don't know what works, to get people back here. But I guess when you're like a missionary, you're trying to get new sheep back here. It's tough because a channel like this doesn't get recommended, so it's harder. And yeah. Hey, I don't know. Hey, I'm thinking it is. Hey, I'm thinking it is, but I think it's one more level. I'm thinking it's like they'll come out with some kind of ID, right? Like you got to have this card in order to buy stuff, whatever. Then I think the next move for the public that doesn't want to get it is let's um let's counterfeit these cards, right? And then so in response to the counterfeiting the cards, right? It's going to be, well, let's just put this on your body so that way it can't be faked. And there you go, right? Now you got an identification on your body and you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything Because as long as the thing is like, as long as your ability to spend money is outside of your body, you can buy stuff from wherever, right? Black market, right? But as soon as they put the money as part of your body, they could turn off your chip. If I mean, they could just turn it off, and you can't get anything. I mean, you, I mean, yes, there's always going to be some kind of currency to, to be able to work out. I guess, um, a lot of things are worth money. Not all of them are good, right? And there's going to be that kind of thing going on, maybe. You know, yeah, they're going to have like a stage security breach. Oh, of course, there's going to be all these stories on the news, right? Oh, they faked all these cards, and oh, it's unfair because the unvaxxed are the problem. They're the ones doing it. But the unvaxxed is their code word for Christian, right? I mean, it's too simple, right? That way they can take a certain class of people and say, okay, because of who you are, we need to test you all the time, blah, blah, blah. And I think I heard a speech by, I think it was even Biden. I think it was even Joe Biden, a speech where he said that. Like, it was when he was younger. He said that, you take a certain class of people and require testing everywhere they go. So, we're going to get tired of having that thing jammed in our nose, because I've had that test before, man. It is horrific, man. I mean, yeah, okay, anybody could probably get through it one time. It's uncomfortable, right? But can you imagine getting poked in the back of your eye, man, like that every day? Oh, man. Eventually it's too much, right? And so, hey, Crafty, how you doing? Welcome. And did I miss anybody that came in? I hope I didn't. Everyone's important. If I miss you, then if I missed you, then you're double important, double more important. And I say that all the time. I hope that some of you didn't leave and then I screwed up, because I'm pretty sure some of you did, that I screwed up. But I have a feeling that, like, yeah, I'm not going to comply either. I mean, look, if I get held down and they do it and there's no way I could, get around it, then, I wouldn't like that either, but I would feel better about my soul. But I'm not, if it's a choice for me to say yes or no, right, then I'm not doing it. And if I could fight it off, I'm going to do that too. You know, it's going to have to be a lot of, well, I don't know how many dudes it would take, but more than one in some coats to hold me down. You know, yeah, that's what they want. Anything but Christ. Because they want to tell you, right, that all these paths, right, lead to God, right? That there's all these different stories, they all sync together, right, and they all lead to a common God, right? And we're all right. That's what they want you to think. But the reality is since everybody was broken up at the Tower of Babel when Nimrod, everyone was against God. Well, their path led to the Antichrist, right? So all paths will lead to the Antichrist, the man of sin, right? And we're gonna say no, no. There's Jesus is coming. This is a false Messiah, right? And the world's gonna hate us for not going along with everything. Like, man, if it wasn't for these Christians, we would all be perfect. And they're gonna want us dead or whatever. Either we get raptured or killed. And so, I'm not going to be the type of person that's going to be out in the wilderness and try to live a couple more months or whatever. I'm just going to be on the street preaching, until they just, come hit me with a blunt object or whatever and chop my head off. Some people are good at survival. I'm not. I mean, I know how to camp out. I was in the army. I know how to do, but it's not something that I'm like real good at. That's for sure. Some people have a talent for that. you know, for knowing what to eat, not what not to eat, and you'll need it to live in utopia. I know. Can you imagine? You have to take this shot in order to make it, just to make it in reality. And it'll be like their utopia, right? But I don't even think it'll be utopia because it's that Satan kind of love, right? Where it's we're all equal, and unless you disagree with us, then you're not equal to us. You know, it's like that fake love, that tolerance type love, where we're all everybody's kumbaya until you disagree or until you want to do it another way or whatever. They just want the depravity. They don't want any order. They don't want any because order and routines, that kind of thing, like make a person more self-sufficient, right? You know, and it breaks my heart because you know, we all fell for this crap, but I fell for it too, right? In the sense that I didn't teach my kids how to sew or how to hunt or how to fish or any of that stuff, right? Because it just wasn't a part of life, you know, like it was, you know what I mean? Things got technological, right? We're in a big city. None of that became important, right? But it is important, you know, it is. And that lost tradition, right? And so, you know, my dad didn't teach me that either, but, you know, it's still, once I became a man, it's on me to do that, you know? But, you know, how are we supposed to know that it was going to be this way, you know? Because I think man was a lot more self-sufficient, you know, a couple hundred years ago when we didn't have technology the way it is, where we can compartmentalize jobs, right? You know, now everything is specialized, right? And no, but hey, you're right, Michigander. But I wonder if yeah, it's over. Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say that, you know. Yeah, the world is I mean, the world is standing up, but is it too little, too late, you know? I mean, because there's a lot of people complying, you know? And, you know, when I read the Bible, it's always I get this sense to separate from it, right? To come out of her, right? Like be separate from the world, right? I don't ever get the sense that we're supposed to like march on the Capitol and beg for our freedom back, you know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know History Untold. Because here's the thing, right? If I see a rapture in the Bible, a lot of people don't, but I see it in there, and it's either we get raptured or killed at chapter 4 because there's no Christians after that. But see, there's 144,000, then there's the church saints, right? And then the people that make it through without getting a mark, right, will be tribulation saints. That's another way of salvation, right? So that's another chance for people. And so yeah, I guess, you know, they make it to 7 years without the mark or get martyred, right? And and see, a lot of people think that too. You know, you're not alone in that. You're not alone in that, Yah's will soaring. And in fact, we got a guy that teaches that. You know, and you know, thinking about it, I should have him on again soon. But we have a guy that teaches that, more than a flame. He might be here, but if not, he's got a channel and he's putting up stuff recently, and I think he explains it pretty good. I've seen him on a couple other channels, couple of big channels, and he's pretty good. And plus, I like him. He's a friend of mine. So, and yeah, I mean, I think that would be interesting. It would be like flat Earth all over again if that were true. But I'm thinking about like just the land area, all the things that would need to be reconciled, like the amount of olive splitting and Why is the sun in the sky? How'd that get there? I mean, not that there has to be a reason why things, not that there has to be a replacement model, but certain things would be physical signs, you know. But but I think that something like that is definitely possible, given the way this world is, you know. No doubt, no doubt, and it's exciting. I'd be willing to look at more information on that. And I was dropped with a steak and a pack of Marlboro. Can you imagine being like dropped out there in the woods, man? Oh wait, you did it, really? Hey, that's a real thing, or are you joking? Oh yeah, there's so many ways to make a fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, all you need is sparks, really. You know, a couple good rocks and friction. I guess you can use friction, both, whatever. I mean, I think the best way is if you have like leaves and stuff, and you have like a piece of wood with like a hole in it or something, and a stick that just barely fits, and then you just give it a friction back and forth. Um, that'll go up pretty fast. What are you saying, Darlene? Cotton balls and Vaseline, steel wool. Yeah, but where are you gonna get all that? You might as well have a you might as well have a flashlight if you have all that stuff. But that is pretty interesting, though. That is pretty interesting that you know that. I'll give you that. But you would need a lot of ingredients out in the wilderness, though. Magnify. There you go, Crafty. That would be the best way, to be honest. I think it's cleaner and probably not the fastest way, but probably the most guaranteed way. If it's daytime, right? If it's nighttime, you said dryer lint. Ah, I'm sorry you had me laughing like that. That's so funny because I could picture what the dryer lint. It's all gray. Yeah. Oh wow, man. And that's how you came to Christ, or is that like? Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Well, you know what, Michigander, it takes whatever it takes, right? And I'm glad that you got out of that. I'm glad you were able to overcome that because that's what we are. We're overcomers, right? I mean, at some point, I guess we could have taken two roads, right? We could have been victims, right? And we could have been overcomers. And I'm glad you have that in you, you know? 5 years off the grid, man. It's just instinct now, probably. See, that's what it is, right, Michigander? Because if you live without a pen, right, you're going to learn how to remember numbers, right? Because you need phone numbers, right? But as soon as you have a pen, you lose the ability to memorize, right? Like tools almost make you dumber, you know? And so the less you have and the more you have to like kind of like rough it, right? The better off like, your skills of survival will be, in a sense, right? What's up, Blazing Scar? Nice to see you. I feel happy that you came here. Sorry I didn't say hi right away, but I feel good that you came here. I feel happy. And yeah, it's like so wait, so it's cotton balls, batteries, and petroleum jelly. Oh, can you imagine buying that stuff at Walgreens or whatever? Especially being here in California. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use that to make a fire. They're not gonna believe you. Yeah, I'm just gonna use that stuff to make a fire. Forget the lighters, forget all the the logs. No, but you're right, Don. No, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not making fun. It just sounds funny. And not only that, but like you could probably find that stuff like in most cars. You could probably find that stuff. So like a semi roughing it type thing. Like okay, we're broke down, we're in the middle of nowhere, and a couple items, right? But can you imagine like if you're just to buy that stuff all in one group? Like you're at Walgreens and you have like your little basket and it's got all that stuff in there. No way, man. I'd have to buy that stuff a piece at a time. Yeah, but you're right. If there's no power, we're gonna have to be self-sufficient. Yep, you're right. You're right. I mean, define illegal faith. I mean, I think illegal in some places means don't break the law, and illegal in some places means don't get caught, right? So, yeah, probably it's illegal to start a fire or have fireworks or whatever, but good luck, telling 23 million people that. I mean, I wish I've lived in states where people had more respect for law enforcement, and but you know, I'm kind of a chameleon. I could fit in wherever, whatever the attitude is of the people. But I mean, it's starting to become now like it's just separate and everybody's nuts. Not that there's something wrong with them. It's just like because of the scales on their eyes, right? Because of they are not lovers of the truth. They're not spiritually discerning things, right? And they're just unable to see it. Yeah, no, you're right, Faith. You're right. So yeah, in a sense, yeah, but um, yeah, but people will still light fires out here. But you're really not supposed to because I mean, one little small thing that gets out of hand, like someone throws a cigarette butt out. I mean, this is what they say, right? Who knows? They might just start these things. Who knows, right? With how much we get lied to. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? But they say someone throws a cigarette out or whatever, and it lights up square miles. I mean, hundreds of miles of land. Billions of dollars worth of damage. I mean, look what happened to Paradise, right? I mean, that's just up the street from me. That whole town is gone, dude. I mean, and this is what's weird about that, right? Is I remember I was living in the Midwest during um I want to say it was like it might have been years after the Hurricane Katrina, and there was a lot of displaced people, right? So there was a lot of people that because of the natural disaster had to find other places to live, and some states had an influx of people, right? Because of people coming from there, right? And it does it is it's not a problem, but it's something to deal with. It could be a problem, right? If you get too many people coming into your state or city at one time. And so, the weird thing about the Paradise Fire, right? I will say this, right? Is there's supposed to be 50,000 people that live there, and we're close to that. Um, and there wasn't. Where's all these displaced people? You know, like where are they? I mean, nobody had any of those problems at all, and that town was incinerated. I mean, there was fires inside of trees, like on the inside of the tree, and there was like engine blocks in cars that were like completely melted. I mean, melted, and like recycle bins right next to them, and not untouched. Like not melted or anything, right? I mean, weird stuff, man. So who knows what? Yeah, I mean, throwing cigarette butts out is just nasty anyway. I mean, I smoked for 25 years, but um, you know, if you're gonna smoke, take care of your stuff. And I haven't smoked in a while, quite a while now, but I'm definitely not against smokers, but yeah, we gotta take care of our stuff. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I wonder if they're brainwashed too. I wonder if the law enforcement is brainwashed and, you um yeah, it's hard to be against smokers because they do pay a lot of the taxes, man. I mean, especially in California, cigarette tax is so high, and that pays for a lot of stuff. I mean, supposedly what they say, right? But yeah, we got to take care of our nastiness. I just think it's dirty to throw anything out of the car or whatever, or on the ground, or when you live in a densely populated area where you see crap all the time, trust me, you start wanting to clean up after yourself. Either that or join them. And I don't know if I could live like that. You know, not that there's too many animals left. In the big city, you just might see a deer once in a while if you're lucky. You know, but that's like an event. Like, ooh, look, a deer. He must have got lost. Cats and dogs. A lot of cats and dogs. A little bug. What would you say? Let me see. I don't know what you were saying about being a little bug. Yeah. Yeah, it's just I know it. I know it. You're right about that, Crafty. You're right. We were in its area, right? It wasn't lost. But that's what you think. It's you think in reverse in this twisted world, right? That oh yeah, that animal doesn't belong here. It belongs where we've driven them to. Which is horrible way to think, right? But it's like implanted in your brain as a kid that you know that animals live separate and away from us, right? But if you live in like the middle of the country, right, or if you live anywhere else really except for like big cities, right, there's going to be some wildlife. And like when you're a young kid in San Francisco or South City or Daly City, like how I grew up along that area. I mean, we kept bouncing around, but there's not much wildlife. Oh, so you did see some of the misplaced people, Michelle? I didn't. Because I was like, wow, shouldn't there be like an influx of like people? But those fires didn't look right at all. Seeing some of that damage, it didn't look. Well, Redding and Yuba City are nice if you can find work, you know. That's the whole problem with California is that there's some good places, but you also got to work. So if, some people have to commute a long ways if they want to live somewhere like there. I mean, I still know people that commute from Sac to San Francisco. I mean, that could be a couple hours, man, each way. Yeesh, you know. And then see, I'm like native Peninsula Bay Area kid, right? And we got pushed up the hill when it became like, $1 million for a 3 bedroom, you know? It's like, forget it, you know? For just the average regular 3 bedroom now, it's probably more than that, you know? I mean, that was years ago, you know? But you just keep getting pushed into the valley and then up the hill, up the Sierra Mountains. Yeah, you know what? That's what I think, Darlene. That's what I think. But they won't let us have a oh hey, what's up, Sac Truth? Man, we got a lot of Valley people here. That makes me feel good. Represent. Yeah, those fires, man, are dirty, man. I mean, with the amount of fires that we have and how the emergency funds work out here, you have to wonder, right? Anytime where there's billions of dollars like changing hands, right? You're like, well, gee, every time there's a fire, there's an emergency fund, you know? Yeah, in Michigan, I would agree. And I'm not really sure what I could say about that on here, you know? But yeah, I think mostly what you guys think. Oh man, it was raining horrifically earlier. Was your 5G working like at 5 o'clock or whatever? Or has it been like, fading in and out or whatever? Because I thought the whole idea of this 5G was that you're supposed to be able to have cars that could just, you know what I mean, run with download speeds that are instant, you know? And how is that true when I could barely get on StreamYard? Like what's going on? What, how am I supposed to get into a car with a mannequin driving, right? And not be in fear if I can't get on StreamYard in my apartment complex. Of course, I don't have internet. I have data, right? But it's still 5G data. Should be the same, I think. I mean, but what do I know? They're inventing new stuff all the time, and I'm not tech savvy really. I mean, I can assimilate, but I don't know. I don't know how a text message works still to this day. You know, I don't know how the words go in the air, and because it is stuff that has to travel in a medium, right? So, you know, I don't know how it works and how it gets to, like, if I send a text message across the world, how it gets there in a few seconds. Right? It's hell. You're right. You're right, Zach Truth. That's what it feels like sometimes. That's what it feels like sometimes. Man, we've had a good stream today, you know? We had a good stream today. And I'm trying to my heart is still with some people that aren't here, you know, and trying to work that out still. But that's me being honest. So yeah, lots of topics today. Well, it's good to like see. I wish it could be like this with Bible stuff, right? Like I can talk about this stuff all day, right? But especially if I had someone to banter with, you know. But if I wish it could be like this with the Bible, where every topic we brought up didn't caused the chat to pop, and you know what I mean. And it's we all believe the Bible is true. We all believe that Jesus is our Lord and Savior, right? Most of us, and so that's simple, right? But it's our own understanding of what we think it is, or what we were told, or whatever, is what blurs everything, And so, everyone wants to lump everything together. Like, if you don't believe repentance is part of salvation, it means that you don't believe in it at all. Well, no, that's not it either. You're darn right I believe in repentance. You got to do all the stuff. It's not attached to your salvation. That part is a gift, right? And there's several parts to your relationship with God, right? You still have to do it. You know what I mean? Because part of accepting salvation is you're accepting God, right? As your Lord, right? But anyway, I don't know how many times you can you could describe that stuff a million different ways, right? And there'll always be somebody that's upset. And we're at the end of the world, guys. This is not a joke. This isn't like. I know that we want to have some kind of entertainment, and this should be entertaining, but at the same time, like, we got to get ready, man, for what's about to happen. You know. And yeah, I like the possibility and the odds of being out of here, but I also there's the reality of being prepared for the worst possible thing, right? And so you know, if you think it could get much more wackier out there and still just carry on, then I don't know. I don't know what kind of math you guys are doing, because it's exponentially getting worse in orders of magnitude, not just like what took 10 years to get here is taking a month to double. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh wow, you beat cancer. That's unbelievable. God bless you for that. That's a tough fate. I talked to my kids about that. Just that I don't know if I would get treatment. You're very strong for going through that, Deb. I'll say that. You're very strong for going through that. I don't think I'd go through treatment. I would just let go. Of course, I've had a lot of family members that had it and really went through hard treatments and didn't look good. But wow, you beat them both. Wow, and that really is a miracle. It really is a miracle. Yeah, I pray all of you get that type of blessing. For whatever you're dealing with. We all have an uphill climb, right? And yeah. I wonder if that does work, Michigander. I never thought about that. If the thumbs up does anything, because I think the channel was growing pretty fast until I guess the flat Earth stuff. Like they stopped recommending flat Earth. Then it made one more kind of push. But it hasn't grown really that much. Really hasn't. Not for someone who does 2 shows a day. You would think that it'd go up more than like 80 or 90 subscribers in 3 months or something. I mean, I think that's even a miracle. I think that's all word of mouth and meeting people. But it's weird. I only know about I mean, even if I think about the ones I barely know, I only know about maybe 200 of you at the tops, right? Where's all these other 1,000 people? It's weird, isn't it? Maybe not everybody watches everything every day, and some people like, I remember at the beginning, like I was just happy to get any subscribers. So like, if someone said, subscribe to my channel and I'll subscribe to you and we'll find each other or whatever. Oh, okay. That person probably had no interest in what content I was doing. They just, just to be nice that we subscribe to each other. So who knows? Maybe a lot of them are like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, where are all these people, man? Yeah, I know. It bothers me, Rob, because it does. It bothers me. It's like, come on, man. How come like 25% of them are trolls, right? Of course, now they rebroadcast, so maybe it's all real now, but and then you're like, okay, so I get to see maybe 50 of you all the time. But then some people watch one thing a week. Some people watch, you know, but here's the thing when it's 20. See you later, Blazing Scar. Thanks for stopping by. Here's the thing when it says 20 or 18 or whatever, right? There's people that click on, right? They come in, they type in chat, oh, hey, how you doing? And then they leave, right? Just to show support. And I've done that a lot of times. So it's just maintaining at that number, right? People are coming in and out, right, as the stream is going. Not everybody clicks on and stays for 50 minutes. Some people click on in the middle of it. Some people click on for like a minute and then they take off or whatever. 3,000 in a year, that's faster than it took me 2 years to get to 1,000. Of course, you have better content, no doubt, and you have a skill. Yeah, you had a big channel. I remember you had a big channel. When I met Michelle, it was like meeting a celebrity. I was like, what a nice lady. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without her. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's all I'll say about that. So, am I Polish? No. Italian. I just probably look like that. I don't know. I don't know what a Polish person looks like. Probably just regular. But anyway, guys, it's time to hit the old dusty trail. I love you guys. God bless you. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. That's what it's all about. He gave us a way out of this wacky place. Yeah, I do have some German in my blood, somewhere. I think my mom is half, I think, German, and my dad's Italian. So good eye, I think, you know. But I don't know that side of the family. But anyway, see you later, guys. Just remember, all glory to God, right? He's the one that made a way out of here, right? And God can't lie, and He's always faithful, and He's never let me down. And I'm just a regular goof, I don't deserve anything. And I'm so happy right now. I'm super happy almost all the time, and that's because of God. Without God, I would not be happy. So there it is, right? And so, all right, God bless you guys, and see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. ish. Now I'll be on time now that I said that. Pray for the kids.